Okay, yes, I took advantage of getting a little private counseling, but the truth is I really do have an insatiable desire to always learn and grow. I don't want to be the same person. And so I want all of us to be able to grow from this whole defensive system. How can we start making it an opportunity to learn?
Well, first you have to understand that every couple develops a defensive system over time because you don't like to be hurt. So it gets triggered by all kinds of unconscious body language and tone of voice. The best way to deal with it is say, this isn't you doing it to me, it's not me doing it to you, it's happening to both of us. Our automatic defense system got triggered. I care about you, let's turn it off. Let's really connect.
Yeah, and you know what happens, and you've seen it in your counseling too, I'm sure, but you kind of get a repeat cycle happening. And unless the couple say, this has got to stop, you know, one does this, the other does this, they just
it's like a dance.
Yeah, exactly. And what happens is you never get to the issues that are frustrating you because you're always fighting over the defensiveness.
That's right, and that's why defensiveness leads to divorce so often. You have to see it as you're not meaning to do this to me, I'm not meaning to do it to you. Let's turn it off.
But it is hard when it feels like they're purposely trying to hurt you.
But you don't want to be motivated by your feelings. You want to be motivated by your values. You're valuing the connection, even when you don't feel like it.
Yeah, I want to keep the connection.
Right.
It has to be my mandate with my spouse rather than you have to make me feel good moment by moment.
Absolutely. Your feelings are always going to keep you doing what you've done in the past. If you want to change, you have to be motivated by your deeper values.
Okay, so we're working through this defensiveness, you know, with a couple. And is it better for them to sort out why they're defensive on their own, or they need to do it together? What do you think? What's your experience been?
Well, there's two answers to that. One is the defensive interaction. It's better to work out together. But the reason I'm...
What do you mean by the defense? You mean that dance?
The back and forth.
Yes.
Okay.
You accuse me of something, and I say, oh, yeah, well, what about what you did? You become like two kids. It takes one to know one.
Exactly.
Right.
That we can work out together. But the reason I'm defensive is because I'm not really behaving according to my own standards, and I want to use that as feedback for what I'm... See, I have a blind spot, we all do, about how we are behaving to the people we love.
Stephen, do we all know really what our standards are, though? Because, I mean, so much of this comes back to the fact that I have to realize that my standard's being violated or I'm not living up to it. Does everybody really know what theirs are?
Sure you do. If I ask you what is the most important thing about you, you're going to think for a minute and you're going to say, to be loving and compassionate to the people I love. Everything you're going to regret in life is when you fail to do that.
And that failed thing you talked earlier about men, right? When there's an implication that I'm dropping the ball, I don't want to fail.
You're failing to protect your family.
That's right. I'm failing
the worst dread of a man.
Yeah. And so I have to, first of all, acknowledge that I have that deep fear. Don't I? I mean, as a man...
A deep feeling of inadequacy.
That's right.
You can't do it.
Does every man have a deep feeling of inadequacy?
Absolutely, but that's not bad. It's telling you to become adequate. Before you know how to do something, you have to be inadequate. If you can't, you have to be able to tolerate inadequate long enough to learn how to do something.
Well, and it motivates you to explore.
Absolutely.
And create and invent.
And to really learn about each other. Look, the first time you had an infant that let out one of those distress whines, you didn't know what to do. You felt totally inadequate, but more important than you feeling inadequate was the distress of the child. The inadequacy trips you into a gut-level compassion, and the child teaches you how to comfort.
Okay, I am picturing my husband. It's our firstborn, has one of those distress cries, and I'm watching how he's going to handle it, and it cracked me up. I had just gone over this magazine article of the things you do. He goes through every one. About 10 seconds, though. He goes, okay, not working. Okay, not working. Okay, not working. Okay, none of this is working.
No, then you go, here, fix
But you're right. It was the motivation of, oh my goodness, I have to fix this.
Yeah. See, he was following a recipe. What he needed to do is just, this child is distressed. All the child really needs is to know that somebody cares about them being distressed. That's how the child teaches you. That's all you need. You
Well,
need
I was
to
just
know.
going to say, it's not just the kids. The older I get, the more I think we're all these fragile people just wanting to be accepted and loved.
Look, whatever you argue about, whatever you're defensive about, isn't about getting your own way. It's about the belief that the other person doesn't care about how you feel. If you believe that your feelings are valued, you'll give and take all over the place.
Yes.
You fight about not caring. The problem is when you're resentful, you don't care about how he feels.
Right.
So what you're saying when you're resentful, I don't care about how you feel, but you have to care about how I feel.
There you go.
And there's no way that's going to work.
No.
But in the context though, of feeling safe, I'm less resentful, right?
Yes.
And that's beautiful. Now listen, you got to understand something. First of all, Stephen has helped us. Thank you. I mean, really, thank you. Helped Christie, helped me. And you know what? We want to help you. Because in the bottom line, we're going to give you our best ways that we're trying to get over our own defensiveness. You can start working on your list, especially some of those of you who are a excuse-aholic, okay? Stay with us.